Now, with the Book of Boba Fett just around the corner, a lot of Star Wars fans have been very excited of what's to come by Disney and Lucasfilm, as well as Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. The marketing of the show is about to begin this October with the trailer debuting in that month that's really going to give us an in-depth look at Boba Fett's life in the past. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, if you would like to go ahead and check me out at Mike01 on Twitter, you guys can go ahead and do so if you would like to. Now, we're in a very interesting piece right now when it comes to Star Wars because we have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni getting ready to film The Mandalorian Season 3. Alright, so Season 3 is beginning to brew. A lot of things are happening with that show before they move on to filming for the Ahsoka Tano series. So those are the two big shows that they are focusing on right now because they're going to have a lot of connections to each other, and we're going to find out more and more about that in the next couple of months. This November, by the way, guys, a very important month. Look forward to it. Mark your calendar in mid-November, right around that time frame, is when Disney CEO Bob Chapek, George Lucas, Jon and Dave are going to be making major announcements for the roadmap of Star Wars. We're talking about new movies, new TV shows, new lore, books, comics, you name it, and that's just the beginning. Also at Star Wars Celebration next year in 2022, we're going to be getting more announcements of TV shows and movies. So with that in mind, alright, we have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni doing a lot of things with, of course, Disney+. So Disney Plus is their main focus right now. They want to make sure that they can nail the Book of Boba Fett and mark it down as most likely the best Star Wars edition in a very long time. They actually keep calling it The Mandalorian 2.5. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But I want to actually go a little bit more into what's going on with actress Gina Carano. So what's really interesting about all of this is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are beginning to get ready to film the Ahsoka Tano series and The Mandalorian Season 3, which, by the way, Ahsoka Tano series will begin filming next year. They are primarily focused on the marketing for the Book of Boba Fett that is said to be The Mandalorian 2.5, like I say, which is set in between Empire Strikes Back and The Mandalorian, that will involve many flashbacks of Boba Fett hunting down his enemies. On top of all of this, it's described that recently Lucasfilm was able to reveal more about actress Gina Carano and her character Cara Dune. In a brand new interview with a Lucasfilm spokesperson, she was questioned about Gina Carano's return in The Mandalorian Season 3 since both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have been working hard to bring her back into the series. Now, the Lucasfilm spokesperson went on to explain that though we understand that there are fans of the character and the actress, we have made the final decision to not bring her back for The Mandalorian Season 3 for a number of reasons. This, in addition, the spokesperson revealed that Jon and Dave, however, are still in the talks with Miss Carano on a return for another Star Wars series for Disney+. However, I cannot say anything further at this time. Further, this was said to actually have been a mixture of reasons. Number one is that filming is already beginning to start this month and that Lucasfilm could not afford to delay the process of the show that would have had a massive impact on production, including tons of rewrites for the character. However, both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have had many conversations with Gina, and that there is also good news that comes out of all of this to all. And that Gina is actually said to be agreeing to return for Mando Season 4, as well as the higher-ups over at Disney in 2023. However, this would mean that fans would not be able to see Gina Carano for a very long time in the Star Wars universe. On top of this, it's described that Jon and Dave have had multiple meetings with Disney's higher-ups, and that they are agreeing to bring him back for Mando Season 4, that is actually said to have a time jump and big connections to the Rebellion that will be explored like no other show. In addition to all of this, it's said that Jon and Dave actually just wrote an entire piece in the third season of Mando that will explain Cara Dune's absence for the moment, and that this is going to be used as a way to create a storyline for Season 4 of the series. Bob Chapek has already agreed to bring her back for Season 4, however, will not be bringing her back for Season 3. So far, Lucasfilm is aiming to stop at the 4th season for The Mandalorian show, before branching it into something completely new that will deal with other new and familiar faces and characters in the franchise that will truly surprise the fandom. Gina is also said to make a statement about this in early 2022 to the fans, and that Jon and Dave have exciting plans for the series. So, this is a very interesting development. Now, I think that there's one thing that a lot of fans absolutely need to know that's very important, is that a lot of this also had to do with the complications with Gina Carano. We talked about this time and time again, that it was also up to Gina Carano. It was also her decision. We all explained how in September she was going to make a call on whether or not she wanted to come back in The Mandalorian Season 3. It's very likely that she also played a part in that, saying that she didn't want to come back just yet. Now, on top of this though, they didn't want to make her come back because it would delay the process of filming for Mando Season 3. If you guys want my honest opinion, my real 2 cents on this, they could have really fit her into the show. I don't care if it's a cameo, I don't care if it's a single scene, or even a little tease of the character. They could have done something, anything. They really could have done it. So to me, I think that there's no excuse of excluding her from the show just because of delays and rewrites. They could have just thrown her in there anyway, but I guess for contract reasons or some other things along those lines, they cannot throw her into the 3rd season. What's good on the side note is that she is actually in the talks to come back for the 4th season with Jon and Dave, and even Disney CEO Bob Chapek is agreeing to this because he knows that there's a large chunk of the fandom that was very upset about her getting fired by Kathleen Kennedy in the worst way, I must add. I'm not going to get into that again. We've talked about that many times. But everything related to Gina Carano is that she is a very bright person. I've talked about this before. Say what you will, everyone has their own opinions on what she put on social media. I understand that. But if you actually dive deep and recognize her as a single person, as an actual person, she's a very good person, a very respectful person, and very caring. You'll see, and I think that's exactly why Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to bring her back. They realize that. Call it whatever you want, it could very well be an act of desperation or damage control. I'm not putting that out of the equation. I definitely think that could be a scenario right now. But the Season 4 of The Mandalorian is going to be a big deal because as of right now, they are using that as a close to the series. They are using that as the final season of the series. That's what they're aiming for. Season 5, so far, no word on that. So that's where they want to end things. Now, on top of all of this, guys, what is very interesting about all of this as well is that we have Gina Carano, opening a little bit more up about her experience working on the 1st and 2nd season. We've done this a couple of times, saying that, of course, Gina Carano never really deserved to get fired in such a terrible way like that. I always said that it should have been done in person, it should have been done in private, at the very minimum. Instead of her just finding out about this through news outlets on Twitter and Twitter trends, I think that was just horrible, to say the least. So, it's a very interesting process because Mando Season 4, in case you guys did not know, is going to begin filming in the fall of 2022. They're aiming to drop it in the spring of 2023. So it's not super far away. It'll be here before you know it because we got a lot of things coming our way. We got the Book of Boba this December. They're trying to push Kenobi for the spring of next year. We got Mando Season 3 next fall. And in between Kenobi and Mando, they're trying to throw in other shows such as The Bad Batch Season 2 and others. 2022 is going to be a big year to say the least. So, like I've said before, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know anything about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.